Hi everybody! Today I want to talk a little bit about the new inventions that Microsoft made here. And it's of course the Neo and the Surface Duo, which are hybrid twin display parts, or whatever you want to call them. It's really up to you. And of course you all have seen the keynote about that and all the different informations about that. And today I want to talk with you about what you think about that. So this is of course the Neo. I have a couple of different images here from T3N in this case, which is a pretty nice news magazine about that, of course in German in this case, but doesn't really matter because we are only having a look at the different pictures. And here you can see one of the key features of this device, I think, which for instance is of course that you have two displays. And the two displays can be used in a way like this with a clippable keyboard or a magnetic keyboard more or less. And this is a pretty nice touch to it, I think, because otherwise you would have to cope with touchscreen displayed technology keyboard or something like that here, and I'm not a big fan of that. And the cool thing about this tablet is it's with Windows 10X, which is of course a core-based one. It's about 9 inches in size here per side, so each of the displays has 9 inches size value here. And as you can see, there is for instance this keyboard on it, which can be clipped on the display itself, and depending on how you are going to move it around, you may find something like this, for instance, so that you can just move the magnetic keyboard up a little bit, and then you get, for instance, this kind of touchpad down below. Do we need it? It's of course a touch display there too, but in the end I really like this approach, because you really can choose which kind of manipulation or which kind of interaction you want to use with this device, and it's really up to you what you want to use. So the really cool thing about it is really that that all the different input methods you are used to are available, and that's something I really appreciate in this design. And of course, the design itself has a 360-degree hinge there, and like that you can, for instance, have a look, use it as a stand by itself. And of course, in a very good way, it also brings you some kind of possibilities for protection, for instance, so you don't have to carry around a big bag or something with this, because it really is in itself a protection for itself. Because if you, for instance, flip the two displays together, you have the aluminium or whatever, maybe aluminium, I think aluminium body will of course be a protection for the display itself, or the displays in this case itself, and like that it's really a nice little touch about it. And this is of course another cool feature, so you get a new magnetic pen there. I would prefer it if the pen would have been somewhere in the device, so you can put it into some kind of a hole or some kind of a holder or something like that. But in the end, if it's really magnetic and you can, for instance, put it close to everywhere you want, then this is a nice design too, and I really like it. It seems that it's a little bit flattened design, so it's not a round pen or something. It's really a flattened design for that. But in the end, I really like it. And what do you think about it? Please write it in the comments. Tell me what you think about the Neo. And the next one is the Duo, and I really have a lot of mixed feelings about this. I really like the hardware design. It's really a nice design. I like the same things that are available on the Neo as on the Duo in this case. And of course you can flip it around. You have 360 degrees of freedom where you want to put that. So you can, for instance, of course, flip it around totally, so you got more or less a smartphone-like device with just one display in this case, of course. And of course, you can, for instance, use the pen with it too. So if you want to use it here, it's fine too to do that. And it seems like the pen would be in a size that it could be put on the smartphone display. So if you for instance, flip it close or something, and put it on the aluminium bottom or something like that, or body, on the part itself too, and like that you could carry it around with you pretty easily. Again, I would have preferred if, for instance, the hinge would have been, I don't know, hollow or something, and you could have put it there or in there, the pen or something. But in the end, it's really a good design. I really like it, and of course you can switch it around and stuff like that. There are some rumors about the camera, what's going on there, because, for instance, you see this camera, but on the device itself that has been carried around in the keynote presentation, you didn't see a camera at the back of it, stuff like that. But that may change in future, we don't know. There are some kind of other prototypes of this product already available or already seen in the wild, where, for instance, there is another camera on the back, and yeah, we will see what's happening there. Maybe there is one, maybe there is none. Since this is more or less smartphone, let's call it that. They ask us not to call it phone, and I understand why. But in the end, it's something, some kind of a hybrid between a smartphone and a tablet or something. And it's really a nice one, because the size of this one is pretty amazing, I think. If, for instance, I think it was something below 5 millimeters for each of the sides in thickness. So if you then put it together, you get, let's say, it was 4.6 or something centimeters, or millimeters, better to say, millimeters in thickness for each side. So if you put it together, it's still close to or even under 1 centimeter in thickness, and that is of course not very thick. So in the end, the device itself seems to be like, if it's put together, oh yeah, come on, sorry, got my cable out here, but put together it's more or less the size of this smartphone here, my Lumia 950 XL. And that's of course a pretty amazing thing. Let's reopen Edge here. And yeah, like you can see here, it's a really thin device. It's a really thin device like that, and yeah, I think it's a pretty nice hardware design. One more thing, let's have a look at this. Oh, of course, together, I think in this size it's 5.6 inches if I'm not wrong, and if you put it open, it's about 8 inches in size. What's the display itself at least, and yeah, it's really a nice one. Some don't like, for instance, that there are kind of big borders around that, but I don't have a bigger problem with that, because you have to touch it somewhere and hold it somewhere. And like that, for instance, it's a good idea to have something where you can hold it. I don't like that with modern smartphones, for instance, that you don't have any kind of option to hold it somewhere, because they are very thin, and so they are really slippery often in your hand if you don't have any kind of case around it or something. And in the end, you don't have anything where you can touch, where it's not going to activate something. So in many cases, you, for instance, will by accident activate stuff that you don't want to activate in general. And so it's not a big flaw I see here, because it's just a nice design like this. So I can, for instance, hold it down here, have my pen in it, or I can hold it like she's doing in this video. But I think it's going to be a little bit slippery too, because it just has this aluminium bottom or body there, and like that, it's going to be a good idea to have something where I can grab it. Yeah, and there's of course other things. You can have a look at the galleries here if you want to have a look. I will post the links here to the description down below. One really bad thing happened with the Duo 2, and I really hate it that it's like that. It's that they used Android, as it seems. I could hope, but I'm not sure if there's going to happen something in that direction, that they will change that to Windows 10 X2, or that at least there is an addition of this smartphone or hybrid twin display, whatever. They really need to define the category. What is this? What is it called? Please let me know what you think what this is called in the comments down below. But in the end, the big flaw about that is that it's Android, and with that they are going to invite probably even Google in. So it's not about having Android without any kind of Google services and without the spyware of Google or something, but it seems like they really got everything on it, and that is really the biggest bummer I have heard of in a very long time. And a little bit it's like getting kicked in the nuts or something for me, but still, let's see what's happening there. There is 1 year to go. What do you think about that? Is it a good option to use Android? Of course, having the apps is a nice touch to it, but I would really preferred it if they, for instance, would have used Windows 10 X and give it a layer of which can enable apps for Android, for instance, in it or something. And I don't know why they didn't do it, because there has been technology in that direction already, and maybe they are going to do. I'm not sure. Because you already know it, the device will not be launched for this holiday season or something, so it's not a Christmas present or something for this holiday season, but it will be launched very likely in 2020, probably around Christmas season or something. I'm not sure what they mean with holiday season. In general, it's the Christmas season. Maybe they even mean some kind of the summer vacation stuff, but I'm not sure about that. I think it's a holiday season so Christmas season. But whatever. Yeah, and that is a really big bummer that they didn't put it into some kind of a container or something, because Google is just selling our data, and I don't like that. And I don't want to buy this phone especially, or just because of that. It's such a nice hardware design. I really love it, and it's a really nice thing, but when Google is involved in there, I'm not sure what's going to happen to my data, and data protection will be violated in many different situations. We already heard about that in a couple of other instances where Google did something like that, or they just promised something and didn't hold it, and I really don't trust that company, and because of that I don't want it to be part of the operation system itself there. That's really not a good turn of events there, and I really want to have this kind of device. Maybe this device, please Microsoft, make it happen, make it possible to give us a Windows 10 X version of this device, where we can, for instance, have a layer for Android, or at least be able to switch between them, so a dual boot or something. Anything in that direction would be fine, but do not, please do not only give us an Android version of this. It's really not what we deserve as long-time followers we are. So, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. I think there is not much to say more than that. And I hope you liked the video. Please let me know what you think about all of this in the comments down below. And other than that, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. We will see us in the next episode of Continuum Gaming, of course, in general on Saturday or Sunday next week then. And till then, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, bye bye, and see you!